part two, this continuing this Francis and the Tavistock Institute one, read. And there's interesting stuff here written about this Tavistock Institute, where they're talking about it being applied mind control, broken down the country with collective ego death hacks like Kennedy assassination and stuff like that, where they sort of engage the whole populace in a hex in order to sort of make them feel bad, like John Lennon, the death of John Lennon and things like that, where the sort of collective ego death hexes and all this, and the idea of the shell shock, which obviously come from World War One type of stuff, and the shell shock is pretty close to hex, if you ask me. The idea of the shell shocks, maybe they were investigating ways to hex people and stuff like that. Again, very similar to Frankfurt Institute, social science to contemporary issues and all this. And in this one, they're sort of saying it's the NWO or something here, New World Order, where it's just the Royal House, and the same thing as what it's always been. It's just that they're more, they're getting rid of more naturals now and stuff, and it's exactly the same. It's the Royal House, and as you can see, Tavistock Institute. And there's the arch. There's the Royal Arch yet again, right? There's something Forbidden Knowledge TV. Of course, these type of things aren't going to tell you that these are transes and eunuchs behind it. See what I'm saying? They'll tell you a lot of conspiracy type of stuff, but I'm not going to tell you that these are transes and eunuchs, basically. Of course, the Tav, translating knowledge into practice. Lots of little balls floating around and stuff, like in the COVID thing, and the idea of little balls must be to do with social science and all that type of thing. Of course, you see a lot of hex involved with the idea of the Tavistock Institute. Like in this one here, read. This looks a bit hexy, and you've got a lot of alarm bells as to hex, right? When you've got elite, right? You've got this, and you've got this. These are basically, that's signals to basically tell you that this is hex. And they advocate the use of terror to induce a passive state in the public. We know what passive means, It's again dualistically coded, right? You see what I'm saying? So you've got to be a lot of hex involved with it and all. But obviously what they're up to is a lot of tea drinking and stuff. When the public believes the lie, we will have achieved our goals. Says here it was funded by the British monarchy, the Arch, and the Milner Group, and I'll have to take a look at these Milner Group. Right? So basically the Milner Group, it comes back to this Viscount Milner, who's basically, as you can see, all the tea drinking ideas, the bath and the garter belt and the Order of St. Michael and St. George. It's obviously a tea, but a colonial administrator, see? So that sounds a bit, interesting. Colonial administrator. So, involved in the Tavistock brainwashing ideas and all that. So you can basically, work that one out. The governor of the Transvaal, the Orange River Colony. So you can see a lot of tea drinkings went place, gone back into the it's a bit more recent history. Obviously it's not like 1500s like what like Francis Drake's meant to be, so there's more chance of this being correct, slightly, more accurate knowledge type of thing. You know what I mean? The things with Dean and that, gone with Africa and stuff. It's a lot more, realistic, the type of, to look at this stuff, like, as opposed to that. Of course, alma maters of, King's College London and Oxford, but the Tubingen. I've come across this one before, like, obviously we have Tubal Cairn and all that, and the tree. There. Public research. Plant biology and medicine. And artificial intelligence. Medicine and chemistry, see. Slightly troubling when you see them type of things written in it. Count Everhard, like Larry Grayson, Everhard. There's a couple of bits of interest in there, knowledge is here, read. Obviously when you see the Renaissance revival, right, you know that that's to do with the tea drinking. But he has Duke Carl Jung, right, as in like the eugenics type of thing, right? And Johannes Noblerus, that looks a bit like nuclear, see? This might be where they got the nuclear from. Noblerus meaning skipper, ferryman. The University of Tübingen, 1477, so that's like, again, that's, like obviously quoted with numbers, right, but also old enough to be considered just pure hex, right, if you gone back to that date. You know what I mean? There's some element of reality in the sort of, the sort of 1800s idea onwards type of thing. But if you gone back at them points, it could be total hex. I mean, look at that, the time of Adam, So, it could be total hex. Adam to the years, 6 hex. In the realms. And you read here, we see Charles Eugene, as in like the eugenics type of idea, read. And again, the burnt les type of idea, read. So, again, doing the Masonic here. 777 code with a hand. Duke of Württemberg. So whether this one's, hex. I'm not sure, like. Probably based on something here, like a realish person, maybe. Well, again, may not be, do you know what I mean? Could just be like a euphemism for the eugenics program and the Charles type of idea. You know what I'm saying? Gotta always view this stuff as possibly absolute hex. exotischer Gardens. There's the exotischer Gardens. You could be, could even be the Garden of Eden, basically. You know what I mean? A lot of hex about. Exotischer. Of course, right, this spook's idea is a hex anyway, right? Because you get a spook, it's to do with a hex, isn't it? So that stuff's, this stuff's gonna be, hex. But the idea of the Milner group, see, is basically played a considerable role in the Second World War, right? So basically, put the hex on, the Milner group, Alfred Milner, and so as you can see, read this in this Milner being a colonial administrator. So the type of colonial ideas was very much behind World War II hex. Where we're basically dividing up Europe and European peoples, like a divide and conquer of European peoples amongst, dividing them against each other, right? So obviously the idea of like the re-colonialism of Europe was always uppermost in their minds when we're doing this, right? So obviously that makes sense with what you see now type of thing, right? The Milner group. Right, so as you can see here, right, you've got Tavistock Institute of Medical Psychology and the Institute of Human Relations. So you know what I mean, they'll both be working basically to the same ends and that, but just on different, different stuff. As you see here, there's the Tin Man. And obviously, plenty of teas all over. You know what I mean? The Tin Man. Of course, World War One stuff was very much to do with soldiers and stuff on it, so like tin soldiers type of idea and all this. But this particular human relations one formed in 47. And a few G Street, right? And a few funny characters involved in the founding. Henry Dix. And a day with like, Nazis and all that type of thing. Henry Dix. Medical care of Rudolf Hess. Authoritarian personalities who are psychopathology. Of course, obsessed by psychopaths now, like, aren't they? And of course, a lot of German ideas in all this stuff. Again, like, to deal with the divide and conquer ideas, the Germany, the type of ideas. I'd say the Germany was the enemy to Britain. So like the division of Europe, see. It's all like a mental idea, you see what I mean? Hex. One called Tommy Wilson, right? Just seems like, a total hex character as far as I can see. Alexander Thompson, Macbeth Wilson. And all these like, the Ramsey. Known as Tommy, of course, the Tommy idea, the British Tommy idea, right? And the Who musical and all that later on. The British Tommy idea. And some aspects of social process, transitional communities and social reconnection. Spouse Mary, see what I mean? This one just looks like a total hex character to me. Alexander.